Hello everyone, this is Arpan Dasgupta and today I'll be talking about the uh, unsupervised learning module lab 1. So this lab is about the k-means algorithm, and k-means algorithm is based on is basically a clustering algorithm. So why do we need to perform clustering? The motivation comes from the fact that data shares some latent information which allows them to be grouped together. So if we have an algorithm which can group data together without the labels being provided or any kind of supervision, then we can perform certain operations on certain sections of the data separately. So that's the motivation behind clustering. So the idea for k-means is that it uses uh, centroid based clustering algorithm, where basically uh, we have different points called centroids, and these centroids are and we see that which of these centroids is the closest to each point, and we assign clusters based on that. So basically the idea is we initialize k centroids to k points randomly and set each point's initial cluster as the centroid closest to it. So the second step is when the clusters are as we perform this loop as long as the clusters are changing, where we first assign new centroids as the uh, mean of the points which have the same assigned cluster. So if we have two sets of points, one of which is initially all colored red because they are closest to the red centroid, then we have another set which is closest to the blue centroid. Now we assign these red and blue centroids as the mean of these points which have red and blue, which are colored red and blue, and we keep repeating this process, and we return the final assignments as the centroids. So here is an example. So first we import the necessary libraries, generate the data, and we initialize initialize centroids, distance, and assign points. We update the cluster. So these are all the helper functions, and we have a helper function for plotting the cluster. So here we will first see that initially there are these are two random points which are assigned as centroids. This is the cyan and this is the orange. So now these points are closest to cyan, hence they are assigned to be cyan. Others are assigned to be orange. And in the next step, we will see that the cyan dot moves to the centroid of these points, and the orange dot moves to the centroid of these points. Once we have done that, we reassign the colors, and we see that all of these points are closest to cyan, and all of these points are closest to orange. After we reassign the clusters, even if we keep repeating this process, we will see no change. Hence, this is the final centroids and clusters. So as we can see, we have successfully performed the k-means clustering. Here it was two sets. We can see that with 5 sets, we will also have similar kinds of iterations, and we will see that we are able to cluster this. So however, if you have played with the if you can play with the random seed, you will see that not all initializations will lead you to neat clusters. Sometimes you will have bad clusters. So yeah, that is something left to you. So here we will see for now we had been trying out k-means directly. now we can actually just use functionalities from scikit-learn and hence this we don't have to actually code it ourselves. So here we can see scikit-learn works, and clustering can be used for a, a lot of purposes. And here, for example, we will see k-means being used on digits dataset, which is our classic MNIST, and we will be able to cluster successfully these these digits as features with each of the pixels as features, and we will hence be able to find the closest uh, we will be able to find the closest digit to each feature. So digit for each image. So we can perform this kind of clustering, and we will see that with some amount of error we are able to successfully cluster. We can again try this on the iris dataset, which is our plant classification. So here also we will see that we will obtain the different. We will not be using the labels. So removing the labels, we'll be able to obtain the different plants as separate clusters. However, one thing is how do we determine the k in k-means, and that comes from this kind of an elbow method, where we plot the error with the number of clusters, and we pick the point where see that the where we see that the error has decreased most from the last iteration. So this would be something like this. So basically it's a visual way of trying to find the correct k. So yeah, that is the lab. That is the first lab for unsupervised learning. Good luck.